Hello, everyone. Good evening. We're going to do some late night lumberjacking.
Late night
lumberjack.
So
lumberjack
late.
basketball talk.
It does feel so late though when it gets dark at 6. Like I
It
think I'm
really
just
does.
sleepy this time of year because it just feels late.
I know, it really does. It feels like it's honestly like midnight, but it's only 9 o'clock. So
yeah,
geez. Either again, it's just that time of year, or we're just again we're getting older, and so anything at night just feels late to us. Yeah, I don't know. Oh man. All right, well, let's get her done. Good evening, and welcome to Pardon Me, Alex, your only source for lumberjack basketball. Brought to you by...
You need a little microphone when you do that.
I know. I'll use my nail polish. Hello and welcome. I know. I want to upgrade my setup for next season for podcasting. Like I want to have like a backdrop and have like an actual microphone while we're up here talking. Like I want to go all out and it be like ridiculous.
I know. I want one of those cool little broadcast mics.
Yeah, same. I think that'd be cool.
We should look on Amazon and see how expensive they are.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Last time I tried to order one for myself on Amazon, none of them worked with my computer because my computer, so like it's a Chromebook, so I have to find like a Google attachment instead of just like one randomly on Amazon. That's my problem. Yeah. But that's on me because I have a Chromebook. Yeah.
I'm afraid my MacBook would probably be the same way. But I don't know.
We'll have to check. So yeah, it's 9:10, 41 degrees in Nacogdoches on January 13th. One day after the game at Utah Tech. And yeah, what a game that was last night.
I realized like halfway through the day today that it was Friday the 13th.
Oh my God, it is, isn't it?
Yes. Also, you know what else today is?
Latrell's birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Troll. We're not going to sing happy birthday to you because we're not singers.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
I'll let Alex do it.
I'll do it. I don't care if I sound good or not. I don't care. I'll sing it. But no, yeah, happy birthday, Trell. We love you. I just sent him some birthday love on Twitter, and I'm going to make a post on Instagram in a second.
Yeah, I'm going to have to send him some birthday wishes in a minute.
Yeah. Hope you had a great birthday. I mean, they're in Utah. I don't know how fun it would be, but here we are.
I saw earlier that AJ went live on Instagram, and then Davion joined him on Instagram, and I was like, I wonder what they're up to, but I didn't get on there.
Every time one of them goes live, I so badly want to hop on and watch what they're doing, but then at the same time, I feel weird hopping on and watching what they're doing.
I know. Every time I think about it, I'm like, if I got on, I would get on from Pardon Me, Alex, so they would know for sure who it was.
I know. They'd be like, I wonder if it's Alex or Jacqueline. It's crap. It's a mystery. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, so last night I was at trivia watching the game at the brewery. And so for the first half of the game, majority of it was I had to have it muted because of the game. So I couldn't hear anything. And then as soon as trivia ended, I unmuted it and turned it on full blast. And I'm literally in the middle of in the middle of at the end of trivia in the middle of the brewery, like screaming at the TV. And I mean, and of course, everybody that works there thinks nothing of it. And then of course, every time I like yelped or screamed, 2 or 3 of the people that always come to the basketball games ran inside and were like, "What's going on? What are we doing?" And they're like, as soon as we hear you yell, Alex, we know either something is happening that's really good or bad. And I'm like, yeah. So anyway, so that was me watching the game last night. I was rewatching a little bit right before we got on, just so I could kind of catch back up with the stuff I had to have muted because I don't necessarily recall the very beginning of the game. But yeah, so yeah, what a game, man.
Yeah, it was a good game, and
It was a great game.
I listened. I did what I normally try to do whenever I watch them from home, which isn't often, but was listen to Rob during the game, and then when I rewatched it today, of course, I listened to their announcers. So yeah, Rob was funny as usual. I didn't do a very good job of making notes of any of the stuff that he said, but
yeah,
he said some funny stuff
as per usual. Rob is just honestly like if there's like an award out there for best like radio commentator, he should win it every single year because he does the best job. I don't know of any other college sport online radio whatever announcing guy who does a better job than Rob. And the best part is too is that when he's covering the games, like, yeah, of course he's our announcer, but I also feel like he does do the other team justice and he makes sure that he, peppers in a few comments about them. But normally the other team isn't listening to our radio guy. They're listening to their radio guy. But yeah, but I mean, you know what I mean? Like he does a good job of making sure that it's a pretty, as unbiased as possible, although there are some moments he can't help it, but
yeah, I agree. You can tell he always does a good amount of research on the other team and will highlight their high points as well. So
for sure. I agree. Rob's the best. He's great. And anytime you guys are not able to watch the games live or in person, the best way to do it is just to turn on Rob. Honestly, you feel like you're there anyway, watching and listening Rob. So, I mean, it kind of is the best of both worlds, to be honest with you. So, but anyway, so let's just hop right into the game. So, we'd already said happy birthday to Trell. So that's check. Another thing I wanted to just get out of the way in the I'll do it in game notes. Well, I'll do it in game notes. Go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, of course it was last night, Thursday, January 12th. It says at Burns, so I guess their Coliseum is called Burns. I don't know, in St. George, Utah. Last year we only played them once. We beat them at home 81-52. And just for a reminder, they were formerly known as Dixie State. So if you're thinking Utah Tech sounds new, it's formerly Dixie State. So nobody knew, just a new name. Coming into the game, they were 9-7 overall and 1-2 in WAC play. I will say that their supposed best player is injured right now, which their announcers made sure to remind us about 50 times during the game.
They really did. It was becoming a little redundant.
They told us a lot. I was like, okay, we get it.
To be nice, I was like, it was a little redundant. Yeah. Anyway. So moving forward with WAC standings as of tonight, let me see here. We still got the same two teams up in first place at 5-0. That would be Utah Valley and us. And again, the only reason why Utah Valley is ahead of us technically is because of their overall record at 14-4. We're at 13-5. So that's really the only big difference. Honestly, Utah Valley is playing lights out. They've won 10 of their last 10 games. Like they are 10-0 at the moment. They're on a 10-0 run. So needless to say, whenever we come around to play them, and I'm not sure if they're coming to us or we're coming to them. I think we only play them once. We'll have to look on the calendar. But that's going to be a wildly important game.
Who are we playing tomorrow? I thought
we were playing Southern Utah tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Now that we have Utah Tech added in there, the three Utah teams I know it's in Utah, but it didn't have Utah in the name. So now that does get confusing because there are so many Utah Tech games or Utah teams. We play Utah Valley. Actually, we play Utah Valley. It's the very last game of the season away. Oh, okay.
Right before we go to conference tourney.
So by then, who knows?
Yeah, who knows what would happen. I didn't realize it was the last game of the season, but we're playing them. The only time we're playing them is there. And that's the last game of the season on March the 3rd. Yikes. That's going to be, like I said, an important game, especially if we're still up near the top and they're up near the top at the end of the season. All right, Seattle U is also playing well. They're the only other unbeaten team in the WAC. So they're at 4-0. Then we have Southern Utah at 4-1, Grand Canyon 3-1, Charlton 2-2, Sam Houston 2-3, California Baptist as well at 2-3, Abilene Christian, Utah Tech both at 1-3, UTRGV at 1-4, and holy shit balls, New Mexico State and UTA at 0-5 in conference.
I'm wondering if UTA is going to be the new like UIW or Lamar.
I hope not, because I really do like UTA. I feel like they're more like I feel like they have their shit together more so than Lamar did. I don't know. Like Lamar was just going through a lot whenever they first joined the WAC. Like they were going through a lot of growing pain, like coaching changes and players getting hurt, and they just had a really bad first season in the WAC. So I think. I hope not, man. I really want UTA to work it out. Plus, I'd rather go to Arlington than go to Beaumont.
Agreed.
Just throwing that out there. I'd rather go up to Arlington and have a fun like overnighter than I would want to go to Beaumont. Wow, there's nothing to do. No, Beaumont stinks, literally.
Sorry, Matt Thibodeau. I mean, we would enjoy seeing Matt again, but
no, yeah, I would see Matt Thibodeau, but like, there's just like I'm not going to spend the night there.
That little place he took us last time was cool, though.
Yeah, that was. But I'm not going to like spend the night there. Like, if we went to Arlington for a basketball game, like I would actually like want to spend the night there and like go out and go to the bars and do things.
Yeah.
Yeah, So, yeah. Okay, and then moving on to the WAC resume seating. Just a little bit of a change, not too much. Still Utah Valley at the top, Sam Houston second. Seattle third, Grand Canyon fourth, Southern Utah fifth, and then us at 6. So we're still in the 6th slot. Tarleton at 7 and California Baptist at 8 with Utah Tech at 8 as well. So I guess they're tied for 8th. Yeah. Okay. And then UTRGV, New Mexico State, Abilene Christian, and UT Arlington rounding out the bottom. So yeah. Haven't really moved too much SFA wise in the resume seating, but we're still, again, top 9 teams go to WAC Vegas. So that's at the moment all I'm focused on that respect. I would love if we could get further up into the seedings. But again, out of our control with things that happen in non-conference. So just going to go with what we got at the moment. So that's what we got at the moment.
Yep.
So that's where we're at. Game notes.
All right. So same starting lineup we've had for many games now. Trell, Nana, Nigel, Day, and AJ. We did win by 13 points, 85-72. Their attendance there in St. George was 1,256.
Yes. Before you run into the stat section, I would like to give a quick. Whoa, hold on now. I'm recording. Please shut the door. Thank you very much. getting interrupted. I would like to give a shout out to our boy Rati for getting his 100th career steal during this game.
Yeah, he had an awesome game, and yeah, that's one thing I had on my list. So we can talk more about his number of steals during that game later. But
yes, I just wanted to give that quick shout out that it was his career milestone game of 100 career steals. He only needed 1 going into the game, and so he got 1 and more during the game. So shout out to Rati, and back to the stats.
Yeah. All right. Sean Kennedy's stat section. Our overall field goal percentage for the game was 56.4. Our 3-point percentage was almost the same, 53.3. And our free throw percentage, not so good, was almost the same at 57.7.
Well, not ideal. At least we're consistent in that respect because we're all,
across the board. Points in the paint, we have 40. Points off turnovers, we had 31. Second chance points, we had 10. Shelly Cook says, okay, I looked at the schedule last game of the season against Utah Valley at Utah. You'll probably beat me to it already now. Yeah, we just looked. But, I mean, by then, who knows what the standings are going to be. So,
I mean, it could be completely flippity-flopped. Who knows? I mean, we're doing well at the moment, and I'm ecstatically happy. And so who knows, like Jacqueline said, what it would look like at the end of the season. At the end of the season, fingers crossed that it's pretty similar to what it's looking like right now.
Yeah. For us, at least.
Or better. Yeah. That's for us at least. Yeah, exactly.
I don't care where they are, but
yeah, I don't give a shit what happens to them.
So fast break points, we had 19. Bench points, we had 32. Total rebounds, we had 29. They did out rebound us by 2 with 31. However, I think we took quite a bit more shots than them. So all relative there, I suppose. Turnovers, we had 15. They had 25. We had 14 steals.
Insane. I've never. Oh, I'll put a pin in that.
Yeah. A lot of steals. Okay. Blocks, we had 0. Our game leader was, of course, Day with, was this his 4th double-double or 3rd?
I'm gonna go safe and say 3rd, but it could be his 4th. I'd have to go back and look at his stats. Yeah.
I remember they posted something, but anyhow, so he had a double-double with 20 points, 10 rebounds, 1 assist, and 4 steals. And he was out a good portion of the second half.
He was.
I mean, he still had the most minutes played with 29, but he was out a good bit in the second half after he kind of tweaked his back or whatever.
Yeah, that was scary.
Then we had Trill with 17 points, 5 assists, 1 steal, and our boy Rati, like you said earlier, he had 11 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and also had 4 steals. So yeah.
Insane. All right, who do we want to start with first? Rati, Day? I don't even know where to go first because there's just so much.
I know. For player of the game, I would give it to both of them because, I mean, that was an incredible double-double. Day was 8 for 8 at the beginning of the first game before he finally missed a shot.
Yep.
But Rati, that's a huge milestone, and he was playing some great defense. And just like overall, I feel like Rati's just really bouncing back more and more every single game.
Yeah, I agree with that. If Day didn't get the double-double, I would have definitely said Rati as player of the game. I definitely think they're co-players of the game, honestly. They played so well. Gotta love it. That's right, Rev. You gotta love it. It was one hell of a game. So I guess let's just start with let's just say Rati. Let's just go Rati first. Yeah. Wow. 4 steals. I mean, he had a couple, like, it was like back-to-back back steals. I mean, he literally he took the ball right out of the guy's hands twice. He was playing lights out. I could not be happier for Rowe. I really couldn't. I know beginning of the season he struggled a little bit trying to get back into the swing of things and trying to get his rhythm back. And he's still recovering from a very traumatic injury and surgery on his knee, right? It was right.
Yeah, it was his ACL, and that's what I was saying, is I'm so happy to see him coming back to his full potential, because there's just a lot of athletes who have ACL surgery and they'll still be good, but they're just never the same.
Right.
So I'm sure that was a big concern for him. And I'm sure it was very frustrating at the beginning, but it just takes time. So anyway, moral of the story to say, I'm glad it seems that he's like right back on track and getting back to normal. And Shelly said, yeah, he looked good and healthy. Yeah, I agree.
He's probably looked the best in that game that he has all season. Like, that was his best game of the season.
I agree. He was 1 for 1 from the 3-point line, 4 or 5 free throws, 3 of 7 field goals, those 4 steals. He was playing great defense. Like, not forgot, but we just haven't seen it in a long time because it's been over a year since he's played. Like, he's probably one of, if not our best defensive player, in my opinion.
100%. And I will give the announcers one prop when they did say that Coach Keller mentioned that when he's 100% healthy, he's the best player on the court. And I agree. When he's 100% healthy and his head's in the game, he can outplay the best of the best. You know what I mean? And so I'm just so beyond thrilled and pleased to see him back on the court and playing the way that we know how he can play, like to the utmost ability of what he can do. And we need him. And that's the thing, like, we need him to do that. because we have such young guys on the team. Not saying that they're not, good. I'm just saying, we need that leadership on the court. And I'm so happy for him. Rati played so good. I put his name multiple times on my notes. I was like, Rati. But just all in all, his court presence, his defense, like you mentioned, was just he was on top of it last night. He was on top of it. Jacqueline, I'm sitting here and I'm looking out the window because I just saw movement in my back patio, and there's a black cat back there.
Oh, black cats are my favorite.
I know they're my favorite too. But guess what? He has white socks.
Oh, is it one of your neighbor's cats? Do you know him?
Has to be. Yeah. There's like 3 or 4 cats that just like do, neighborhood laps. And I came home today earlier and there was an orange tabby near, like, right by my driveway. And as soon as I was pulling in the driveway, he scurried off and he was gone. Yeah.
Orange cats are funny too. They have very funny personalities, I feel like.
Yeah, they do. Okay. So Rati, hell yeah. Here for it, brother. I'm going to skip over. I'm going to go to the guy that we haven't seen play since like the second game of the freaking season. Jaleel was back, baby.
Yeah, I was so excited he was back.
Jaleel was back. His first game back in months, since the first game of the season, first few games of the season. Broke his foot. He played 10 minutes, which isn't bad. You know what I mean? Like for his first game back, he played for a good solid 10 minutes, and he had 4 points in those 10 minutes. He had 2 rebounds, and he was 2 for 2 from his field goal. So, I mean,
he had a nice big dunk.
He had a nice big dunk. Yes, he did.
I will say, and this is nothing on him. This is just what happens, but you could tell he was winded.
Oh, yeah.
Because when they first put him in the game and he came out, Rob was like, he looks like he's been in for 20, but he's been in for 2. But, it's not anything mean or disparaging. It's just he's had a broken foot. And, like, no matter what workout you do, whether it be a bike or whatever, like, nothing just beats running up and down the court. So, yeah, 10 minutes.
It's get his conditioning back. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, and it's going to take him a few minutes because there's nothing like just running up and down the court playing D1 basketball. You can't substitute any kind of workout to make up for that.
Yeah, your stamina. I mean, even like for Robbie's been back for 5 or 6 games now ish, and he still gets winded.
Yeah,
who else is recently back and gets winded pretty sometimes? Like Derek sometimes gets winded with because he had a foot surgery. It's normal. It's normal. But I'm just, I just made the note that the fact that every single person who was out is back. Yeah, we're not 100%, but the fact that we have bodies on the bench, people dressed out, and everyone at the very beginning of the season that was playing is back, and I could not be more happy.
Yeah,
he was the last one, and now we're back.
And he looked great last night. The minutes that he did get before he was tuckered out because he's just not
right
running up and down the floor anymore. But he looked good. I'm very excited.
I agree. So. Yay, Jaleel. So excited to have you back. Honestly, it's been a long time coming. And the fact, again, that we have pretty much everyone that's eligible to dressed out, and actually can come in and play minutes. Happy. All right, let's get to the boy. Let's get to Day.
Wow.
Day Hall. I don't even know what to say to you, dude. You are an absolute animal. An animal. He barely played the second. He did play the second half, but he played for a very small chunk of the second half, and he still came away with a freaking double.
Yeah, I think he maybe only I can't remember what he ended the first half with, but almost all of his points he got in the first half. I don't think he.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I just and then he freaks everyone out when he freaking tweaked his back or whatever he did to his back. And I'm sitting here at the brewery chugging mead because I'm like stress drinking. As soon as I saw that, I was like, I need another drink over here. I was freaking out because that was the last thing we needed. We just got everybody back. And I was just like, don't do this to me.
I know. Well, it didn't look super bad. And so I was like, I think it just kind of like landed funny and tweaked it. But
yes.
And Dad was panicking too, because Day Day's his favorite. So he's like texting me, I hope Day Day's okay. And I'm like, I'm sure he's fine, but I'm sure he appreciates the concern.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't look bad, but sometimes even like the most like minuscule movements can like you could pull a muscle just by bending over, you know? And so I was just like, oh God. And then I saw him put the little that was just so funny. He put the little back thing on, and then literally the camera pans back out, and literally he's on the freaking sidelines doing push-ups. I'm like, all right, well, I guess he's okay. He's over there doing push-ups. So
look at this big guy lurking in the background. Sorry, I just saw that.
Oh, I see him. What's he doing?
What are you doing? I think one of their toys got underneath that drawer.
Oh, well, babe, you have like 25 other toys.
Yeah, they got plenty. They have a whole basket.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, but Day Day Hall, I just can't with him. He's just an absolute monster. We've said this once and we'll say it again a million trillion times. This kid, he plays like a fucking 8-foot tall post player. You know what I mean? That's how he plays.
Yeah, and I know it's every game, but like I just on the off chance someone's tuning in today for the first time ever, like he has a torn labrum that he's going to have surgery on after the season, and he's wearing 2 different braces on his shoulder that restrict his movement, and he's still the leading scorer almost every game. Like, it's
nuts.
Wild. It's insane. I cannot believe it. I can't even like fathom or imagine in my mind what he's going to be like next season after he has that.
I don't get it. I don't understand him. That's why I called him a freaking monster freak, because I just don't get it. How he can absolutely embarrass people. And he's like at what, 75%, 80 at best?
Yeah.
With his torn labrum?
Yeah, I don't even know, because I don't know much about that injury, but it seems like it would restrict you quite a bit.
I know. The fact he has 2 braces on and he's making people look dumb under the basket. Oh my God. He scored 20 points.
The fact that he went 8 for 8 before he finally missed one was insane. Like,
He's just a freak of nature.
I was texting Simon while I was watching this game, and I'm like, our leading scorer is 6 of 6. And then like immediately I'm like, okay, 7 for 7. Just kidding. Because literally like the next time down the court he made one. And then I'm like, 8 for 8. Like, is he ever going to miss one?
It's just one of those things. Like it's a, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, I don't, because he's just insane. He can't be tamed. He can't be constricted. His 2 shoulder braces don't slow him down.
Yeah, not even a little bit.
And again.
So I'm like, what is full throttle? Like, what's 100% at this point?
I thought we saw 100% last season, but I even think that he's better this season than he was last season, and he's injured.
Way better.
Way better. And he's injured. Oh my God, Jacqueline. It just literally whatever we need to do, and I know I'm looking too far in the future, but this is the shit that keeps me awake at night. Like, whatever we need to do to make sure that nobody steals him from us in the off season, we need to do. Like, I don't know. Do I need to like, I don't know, barricade him in his house? I mean, what do I need to do to make sure that no other teams try to come and like sweet talk him away? Like, that's my main concern. I know we have months away from that, even happening, but I'm just sitting here just like he's just so good. He's so good. And he's only what? A sophomore?
Yeah, so I think technically this is his third year playing, but because of the COVID year, I think he's a sophomore.
Nuts.
Yeah, because he went and played. I think he tried to come to SFA his freshman year, but he was only offered. I think, if I'm remembering this correctly, I think he was only offered a walk-on spot that season, and so he went and played wherever he played.
East Tennessee State.
Then he came back his sophomore season, but
yeah, East Tennessee State. So yeah, so he technically on our roll he is a sophomore. So
yeah.
I have no words. You know, I have no words. And I mean, I'm sorry, let me just go down the roll. Frickin' Derek is a sophomore, okay? Day's a sophomore. Kyle is a junior. So we have it another year with him, potentially. JJP is a sophomore. Trell is a sophomore.
Love to see it.
You know, we got AJ for at least another year. He's a junior. Jaleel for another junior. Robbie is a fucking sophomore.
This makes me so happy. Like
I can't even breathe. Anyway, I'm getting us distracted, but it's just one of those things. Okay. Any other things to talk about for Day?
No, just infinity. I did make a note though, like just overall, I feel like our movement on offense was beautiful.
I have to agree on that.
All across the board, great movement, great patience, and moving and screening and giving it a minute to get open. And I loved it so much because like whenever I was in high school, we played emotion offense as well, and it's just you got to just be patient with it. And after a few times of rotating the ball, someone's going to be wide open. Like it works like a charm, and there's nothing to it. It's beautiful. I love it so much. And especially when you have people who are good playing together and have good court vision, like some of our guys, it just leads to some of the most beautiful assists and scoring. And there's nothing I love more.
There was some beautiful passing last night, especially like under the basket. Just in general, some beautiful passing, but the court presence and the patience that you mentioned of last night to wait for the perfect moment for the perfect ball. Yeah, there were a few that weren't, 100%, but man, the majority of those were still. It was chef's kiss, mwah, Yeah, that was probably again. Yes, it was a well, I'll get to that later, but yeah, there were some flubs, but I'll tell you what, that game was one of our best games. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah,
that just in pure cohesiveness, working together, playing together, not, playing for yourself, but playing together. It's one of our best games of the season that I've seen, for sure. All right, let's talk about birthday boy, Trell. I mean, shit, he comes out with back-to-back threes in the beginning of the game. He's nuts. Our silencer, he did it again. He did it again during that game, and I about pissed myself.
He had a few also that I really thought were going to go.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. So, yeah, he was 4 for 10 from the three, but those 4 that he hit were monster balls. There should have been at least 6 out of 10 or more, because there were a few there that literally rimmed out in the basket, popped out, like they should have went in, but I digress. Man, our birthday boy, 27 minutes, 6 of 12 or 6 of 14, like Jacqueline mentioned earlier. I mean, second high point at 17 points. Just absolutely silencing them at the end of the game, or, during the game with those threes, as always. Love to see it. Those back-to-back threes can really kill you, man.
Yeah, they were so nice. And on the topic of threes, we had several dudes who were 1 of 1 from the 3-point line.
Yeah, and we don't take that many. Usually we are average about 6 per game.
Yeah, so Raw T, JJP, AJ and Nigel all only took 1-3, but sunk it. Great.
Yeah. So I agree. Yeah. So we were definitely over average. We had 8 this time. And usually we only maybe average about, like I said, like 6 or so. Shelly Cook, it always bothers me when the other team gets on a run. We start taking wild, crappy shots. I wish they would remain calm and do their thing. Yeah, that happens. I feel like that happens to everybody. It happens to the best of us. And yeah, you just start doing like those desperation shots, especially if you notice the other team is going on a run. Like I know there was a point in the game yesterday where it was like maybe like a 9-0 run from Utah Tech, maybe. Like it wasn't a huge run, but enough. And we started taking a couple wild shots and a couple that just we had no business shooting yet. And so it happens. It happens. You just start freaking out a bit and you're like, ah, yeah. So I get it. Man, those first like 10 minutes of the game, 15 minutes of the game, some of the best basketball I've seen from us. I mean,
yeah.
Holy crap. Yeah. Let's see. What else?
I put Robbie had some really nice work at the post. I mean, we bragged on him last time, but I love watching him. He had 6 points. He had 2 rebounds, a steal. He was doing great down there at the post.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Always love to watch Robbie play. I could tell when I could even tell on the TV last night when he was getting fired up. I mean, he was.
Yeah, he always does the hard clap in the face.
Yeah, every single time. Every single time he does that hard clap. I'm like, oh, he's getting lit. He's getting fired up. Yeah.
Fired up.
He was 100%. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Points in the paint back up where I like to see him in the 40s. Love to see it. We had 31 points off turnovers. That is amazing. So we forced 25 turnovers. Or I'm going to say not all of them were probably us forced, but I mean, yeah, 25 turnovers. The other team had 25 turnovers to our 15. That number was back up to not necessarily where we like to see it, but the fact that they had way more than us, 10 more than us is mint. Love to see it. Let's see what else. Anything else on your end?
No, that's the last of mine.
Okay. Let's get her done.
With the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now you're going to hear about it. You.
All right.
You.
Start her off, babe.
Oh, you know what? I actually did have one random note I forgot. It's not a grievance or a strength I guess it's kind of a strength, but just random programming note. I've not seen a coaching staff wear suits since before COVID, and their coaching staff was wearing all suits.
They were, weren't they? Huh.
I don't know. I'm torn because when COVID first started and everyone was just wearing the athleisure stuff, I was like, I miss the suits. I like the suits. Now I think I'm so used to it that I was like, it's kind of weird seeing them in suits at work because it doesn't really make sense. Like, I don't know what has to be so fancy that we have to wear suits on the court, but I kind of miss it sometimes, but I haven't seen it in such a long time that it was like, what are they doing? Like, I was like, okay, well, whatever. Nobody does that anymore, but all right.
Yeah, honestly, that's a good programming note. I honestly didn't even realize it, honestly. I'm glad you noticed.
Yeah, that was odd. Okay. So the first 2 things I have to say about the announcers, which is just,
oh God, here we go. I'm ready.
First of all, they wanted every call, every single one. And I get, because even Rob sometimes will be like, I didn't think that was a foul, or I think we should have got this or that, the third, whatever. That comes with the territory. But I mean, man, they really wanted, first of all, they wanted every single call. And then even the ones that were obviously egregious, they'd be like, well, I just don't know what he did. And I'm like, well, he basically massacred our player, so that's why he got a foul. I mean, I don't know what else you want us to explain. It's pretty obvious. But I mean, every single thing they were like going on and on about. And I was just like, okay, it's a little much. You can't get every single call. And then one of them, I cannot remember which one it was because, of course, I didn't pay attention to their names. But I was just thinking to myself, I think that you should probably know the rules of basketball a little bit more before you start trying to commentate a game.
Yeah.
So when the play happened where Day landed funny and ran off to the sideline, they had called a foul against like the player who was guarding him. So he was going to go for free throws. So since he came out, because obviously if we had a really good another really good free throw shooter and we didn't want the person who got fouled to shoot free throws, they could just fake an injury and we could pick who we wanted to shoot. So if the player who's coming up for the free throws gets injured and has to go out, the other coach gets to select who shoots the free throws.
Right.
Well, the commentator is like saying, why doesn't he get, he's like looking at our stats to see who's made the most free throws. And I think Robbie and Davion are the ones with the least amount of free throws because they haven't played as much, haven't been up to the line. And so he's like, why doesn't he pick Scott or Armbruster? I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me why he wouldn't pick one of those players. And I'm thinking in my mind, they're not on the floor. Like, you can't just randomly select someone else from the bench when we've already selected a person to go in for Day, but they get to choose who shoots, but it has to be from who's off. And then finally, like the referee said it, like the other coach gets to select one of the 5 players on the court to shoot the free throw. And the other commentator has to like correct him. And I'm thinking like, I mean, that seems fairly obvious to me. Like
that whole
on the floor to shoot the free throw. Like you can't just randomly willy-nilly select someone off the bench.
I know that whole like sequence, I just was half confused, half like, I was like, what are these guys talking about? I just didn't even know what to do. I'm just sitting here. I wanted to mute them so bad. I'm like, for fuck's sake, these two are idiots.
You could tell the other dude knew and was just like, I'm going to, one of those situations where you're like, I'm going to try not to correct him and embarrass him. Maybe he just won't say it again and we'll just keep moving on. But then when he said it again,
he just kept going.
When the other guy's like, well, they have to choose from who's on the floor. And I'm like, okay.
What an idiot. What an idiot. It was just, I'm sitting here watching the game and I'm just like, are you on drugs, dude? Just had no idea. Just no idea what was up, what was down, what was, life and what wasn't. It was just ridiculous.
And my final note on the announcers, and this wasn't anything about the game, about the actual game of basketball, but at the end of the game, they're like, oh yeah, saying that SFA had some fans there. And they're like, yeah, some of these SFA fans made the trip from Houston. And I'm thinking, okay, granted, maybe they flew out of Houston, but like, you're still not making the trip from Houston. Like, did he? So I was like, I'm just confused. I don't know if he's just saying that because that's where we flew from, possibly, but.
I mean, maybe they were from Houston?
I hope he didn't think that we're in Houston because I was like, that just doesn't make sense.
Maybe it's just the way he worded it was just weird. Maybe the fans were from Houston.
I don't know because the only person I saw from SFA in the stands was Chauncey. So
yeah, but I did see purple behind them, but I didn't see who it was, and they never showed faces, so I couldn't even see who the hell it was. Those two schmucks, they just. There's some announcers for the other teams that I'm just like, wow, these guys are great. Like the guys who did the La Tech game, great. The guys who did, what was it? Was it the UTA or?
The La Tech one was different because those weren't from.
No. And I know that. But like, I mean, but some of the people that they get to do these games, I'm like, what? Do you guys not even know the game of basketball, how to freaking do announcing or commentating? I was just blown away. Like, where do they find these people?
Yeah, and I hate to whatever because maybe he was just confused. But
My
it's like
75-year-old mother could do better.
if you're confused, say less. That would be my
100%. Like, I don't know all the rules and regulations to a T and like down to an art form and art that I can like talk about it on a play-by-play basis. That's what I have you for during the game. Because I'm just like, what was that? What do you call? What was happening? What hair? But I know the basics of the freaking game. But if I don't know what's going on, I'm not gonna say something.
yeah.
Good God. And yeah, Shelly, they need to learn where we're located, how to pronounce player names. Those are my grievances. I could not agree with you more. Every time they said Trell's name, I wanted to just punch the TV.
You know, I wonder if they got the little like phonetic pronunciation guide of the names like they've been putting on our schedules lately on our programs.
I wish they would.
But it has made me very confused the last few games. It seems like maybe the last like 3 games that we've played like away, the announcer pronounces Nana's last name correctly and then messes
Just perfectly.
up else's, and I'm like, that's the name that you got correct, and the others you can't manage. I don't know.
Yeah, that just always completely just flabbergasts me because that's not the first time that's happened. Like there was another game where they got Nana's last name fully 100% spot on, but then they were messing up on Trell's name, they were messing up they were mistaking Trell for Day and Day for Derek, and they kept messing up Derek's last name. Just like, what are we doing? Anyway, so yeah, just annoying. How do we feel about the officiating last night, Jacqueline?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. So this is my only point.
Let's hear it.
So, like I said, we had 31 fouls. Actually, I think I missed this when I was reading the stats, but we had 31 fouls total. They had 26 for a total of 57 fouls called in that game, which is
insane.
And I will say, even at the end, Dad said he said there sure were a lot of mystery fouls in that game. Yeah, I mean, I think they were a little whistle happy and not very consistent with the fouls. Because there were a couple of fouls I had grievances on. We had JJP in major foul trouble with 4. And we had Derek who fouled out. Well, JJP's foul trouble, I mean, it sucked, but his first foul was absolute complete BS because the offensive player pushed him. And then Derek did have 2 offensive fouls right back to back that one of them was very blatantly, yes, an offensive foul. I don't think he meant to do it, but he definitely pushed way off with the arm, which I think was because they weren't calling the defensive fouls, but I digress. His foul that they called on the 3-pointer, on the 3-point shot, I'm assuming that's one of the ones that Richard was referring to as a mystery foul, because literally the guy shot the 3-pointer and he was coming out to try to defend it. And when he saw that he was too late, he kind of turned and side squeezed by the guy on the other side so as to not touch him. And then the guy just falls down and they call a foul. And it's what happened? I mean, the guy literally just fell on his own.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't too pleased with the officiating throughout the game. I mean, the fouls itself, I mean, the fact, again, like you said, there were how many fouls total? 54?
56.
56. 50, yeah. I mean, that's just egregious. Derek fouled out. You said, wait, 1, 2, 3 players with 4. Yeah. 1, 2, 3 players with 3. And that's just on our team.
Yeah.
And then we had 1 kid foul out on Utah Tech. 1, 2 with 4. 1, 2 with 3. I mean, everybody had a foul. Literally every person that played in this game had a foul except for Trey Edmonds on Utah Tech's team. Literally every person had a foul. It was insane. It was like Oprah handing out book club books.
That's what I was about to say.
And you get a book, and you get a foul, and you get a foul, and you get a foul.
Well,
it was just,
yeah, the only player who didn't get one, that kid, he only played 3 minutes, so least amount of minutes in the whole game. So only player who didn't get a foul.
Yeah, it was just a little egregious, honestly. Robbie got hit for a goal. I always hate the goaltending call, man. It just drives me nuts. Not for any real reason in particular. It pisses me off. I think it's not a bad foul or a bad call. It just drives me nuts.
Yeah, I don't love it either, because really, I feel like the only time that it should be called is when the ball is truly like about to go
in the net
and they flick it back out. But even then, I'm like, if you can get up there and do that, then
see, I agree. If you have the absolute athleticism to get the ball out of the hoop before it goes through all the way down the hoop, let it happen. Like, good on you. That foul bothers me so much, and so it just drives me nuts. So whenever we get a goaltending call, it rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, I don't like it when they call it just for them like smacking it against the backboard or something.
Agreed. That just drives me bonkers. I'm like, how is that a foul on anybody? Like, it's not even hitting. You're not hitting the player. Like, you're literally, it makes anyway.
Also, like, if I was a player and I had the ability to jump up there and actually like swat it back out of the bucket when it was going down, I don't think that would be something I would try, just because I feel like I would be so afraid that one of my fingers would like get caught in the net and it like rip my finger off. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Like, I would be a little bit scared of that.
Yeah. I didn't mention this during the pros, and I probably should have, but I thought it was hilarious that number 20, like right towards the beginning of the game, got hit with that technical. We're talking shit to the bench right after he hit that 3-pointer. Literally right in front of the ref, you dumb dick. And it's just funny because the freaking announcers were literally losing their minds, because they're like, well, Latrell just did that just a few seconds ago, and he didn't get called.
That's what I was about to say too, because then they completely like contradicted themselves by going back and saying, but he said it right in front of the ref when the ref is looking at him. And I'm like, yeah, if you know what, maybe Trell did say one or two things, but you know what? We didn't hear what was said. So maybe Trell just said something flippant. Maybe that kid cursed or said something derogatory, number one, because there is a difference that sometimes the refs will let a little bit of chatter go.
Right.
Number two, like, yeah, sometimes we talked about it the last game with Robbie. Like, sometimes you get away with stuff because the refs aren't looking.
Correct.
But if you turn around and you're staring dead ass in the face of the ref past him to talk shit to the bench, then my friend, you better be ready for the tech.
Exactly. And I was just like, well, no shit. He did it right in front of the freaking ref. Like, yeah, of course he's going to get a freaking tech.
And again, that's all like a gray area. And there's some refs that are harder on it, some that aren't, some who might just give you one or two warnings and say, hey, no more talking, no more, leave it alone. And then you got some techs who will immediately tee you up. But any ref who you're 2 feet from his face and you do that, they're going to call it, because then
he was inches from his face, man.
And you're going to be all up that ref's ass saying that kid literally was right in front of your face and he did that. Do you not have better control of the game than that? So like, the ref's not going to let that slide.
No, not at all. Not at all. Yeah, exactly. And you're right. Listen, like, here's the thing. I like a little trash talk back and forth. I think it makes the game even fun. But, obviously, if it's getting a little too much or a little too egregious or a little bit too chippy, then the refs need to take over and tell them so that the game calms back down to a normal level so people don't swing or get hurt or anything like that. Yeah. But I think it's good to be a little, back and forth, back and forth. I mean, that's what gives the game a little bit of fire, a little bit of passion. But that whole sequence right there, I was like, you dummy. Like, you're so stupid. Like, you're dumb.
I agree, because I mean it's totally up to the discretion of the ref. And
100%. If I was ref at a game, I would let a little bit of back and forth happen. But at the same time, if it got too much, be like, listen, all right, gentlemen, I've let a lot of it go, but now we need to focus on the game and stop bitching at each other. Like, knock it off.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the point where people, like, I guess don't realize. I mean, in that moment, like, you kind of have to compare that almost to parenting, because like, people are gonna have refs are gonna have different styles of where they feel in control, and if they feel in control with a little bit of smack talking and they feel like they still are running the game, then they might let it go. If they feel like they're losing control a little bit, okay, then you're going to get a harsher punishment. And again, it's just like kids, like the parents can't see everything. So like, yeah, if your brother smacks you and your parents don't see it, and then they turn around and you smack the brother, well, yeah, you're going to be the one to get in trouble because they didn't see the first hit. That's just
exactly. Exactly. And it's just, I know that like I said, that whole sequence just kind of, I was just over that. I was like, grievance. What the hell are we doing here? Why are we making this a bigger deal than what it truly is? Announcers, like, give me a break, man. Another thing too that they kept doing that was driving me nuts was like, I feel like every single play was like sponsored by somebody. They're like, well, now that's a Berkshire Brothers slam dunk or something, or that's a Berkshire Brothers hustle play, and I'm like,
I guess I didn't pay attention to that because everything else was so annoying. Because
I was literally, I'm not even kidding. Like, if you go back and listen to the game, like I said, I was watching a little bit before. It felt like they were saying, I might have totally misconstrued it, but it felt like they were saying anytime like there was like a good hustle or like a 3-pointer or something, they're like, oh, and that was a Walmart 3-pointer. And I'm like, whatever. Yeah. Places are in that area or something. And I was like, State Farm 3-pointer. It's like, are the plays sponsored? Are the positive plays sponsored? Like, if they did a freaking alley-oop dunk, would have been called like the Raising Cane's alley-oop dunk? Like,
so
it was just weird. Like, I wrote that down. And again, maybe I misheard, but that's just what it almost sounded like. And I was like, are they that hard up that they had to sponsor plays?
Maybe. I mean, maybe it brings in good money. I don't know. I'm curious now.
Well, shit, I don't know. So now I need somebody to go back and watch it and be like, no, Alex, you were on drugs and you just misheard. Or if it was true. I know.
How much money are they getting on these sponsorships?
Right? I mean, hell, this may be something we need to hit up Brian Ivy for. Be like, all right, now listen to this. Yeah. What do you think? The Pardon Me, Alex backdoor.
Oh my God.
What do you think? Yeah, my last grievance is pretty much what Shelly said. They got within 6. We were rocking and rolling, and then all of a sudden they got within, we were up by like 20 points.
Yeah. I will say, yeah, Dad said, what did he say? As good as we have played, we're not leading by very much.
Exactly. And I was like, what happened? Like, it felt like it was such a quick turnaround to where we were up by 20. And then all of a sudden I go get a beer, I come back, and then we're down. We're literally up by like 15, 13. I'm like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? I mean, thank God that we, anytime they would score, a few points, we would also score a point. So we kept the lead. But like they just got too close for comfort, especially when we were up by so much.
Yeah.
Frustrating.
I agree.
Frustrating. I was killing me, man.
My last grievance is just that the free throws were shite.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah. I agree wholeheartedly there. I don't know where the good free throws went to, where they ran off to. I need them to make a reappearance because we can't be going through the WAC playing the teams that we're going to be playing within the next few weeks here, especially, coming back home to play Sam Houston, who's been on, playing really well this season. Like we have to get these small little, fundamental things more consistent here. Oh God, anyway. But other than that, great freaking game. Very happy about it. Let's see. Shelly said she kind of misses the suits as well.
Yeah, I kind of miss them a little bit. It was weird seeing them because I haven't seen. Oh, hey, Jose. I think that's what you said last time, but yes, we will see.
The same exact comment. See you at the 100th. I know. For those who context, if you're either listening or watching, 1923 was the year that we were founded, SFA. And so obviously it's 2023. And so starting in the fall is our 100-year celebration. So from the fall of 23 to the spring of 23, or 24 technically, we will be partying hardy and for 100 years of SFA. So that gives you a little bit of context as why Jose keeps saying the 100th year. Anywho. All right, Jax, let's hear it. One word to describe the game. Damn it, that's a great word. Now I'm okay, and I have to think of one too. That's equal.
No, I had to change mine. Mine was just steals. It could have also just as easily have been fouls, but I felt like steals was more positive.
Yeah, no shit. Absolutely. I'm gonna go with day.
That's what I was gonna use till I changed to steals. So
just day. Because Day was an absolute monster as per usual. And can't help but be impressed with his play, even after he got hurt and he hurt himself and he was out for half of the second half, and then it just cracked me up because the announcers were so shocked that he was coming back into the game. They're like, oh, and he's coming back in? I'm like, yeah, dude, you clearly don't know anything about Day. He could have one fucking arm falling off and he'd be coming into the game.
Like, he's already wearing 2 braces. I'm sure they were hopeful that he wouldn't come back.
I know. This kid will be over here puking into a trash can 1 minute. Next minute, he's over there dunking on you. I mean, like, he doesn't care. He's in it to win it. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. So, yeah, that was my one word. Day. All right, so upcoming games. We play tomorrow at 2. Thanks, Mom. It's like Charles' birthday. I already said happy birthday to Charles. Don't worry.
She's not going to let us forget.
No, that was the first thing she said to me whenever I walked in the door. She goes, hey, don't forget you need to say happy birthday to Charles. I'm like, don't worry, I will. So tomorrow at 2, playing Southern Utah. Of course, the game I'm hoping is going to be streaming on ESPN Plus, so we'll be able to watch it again that way. I'll be at work, so hopefully I'll be able to catch up and catch it. Don't worry about it. I'm trying to record. This is the shit I go with. I'll be at work till 5, so I'll put the game on, but hopefully I'll be able to catch at least a little bit of it. If not, I'll have to rewatch it later on that night. But and then tomorrow night, Huffy and the Paintfish are playing at Max for free.
Fun.
So that'll be fun. So I'll be working half the day, and then the other half of the day I'll be at Max listening to some amazing 90s music. But yeah, so tomorrow playing, and then of course the next game is going to be on the 19th, and that'll be the one where we travel to Prisonville for the last time. Thank God. I'm just kidding.
It'll be a fun day.
It'll be a fun day, yeah, and that's on Thursday, January 19th, and that game's at 6:30. If you're in Houston, North Houston, Nacogdoches, and you want to come with us, let us know. If you're in Houston, meet us down there, or meet us up there technically, because it's obviously north of Houston. So last time playing Sam Houston in conference for the foreseeable future. So definitely, if you can make it up to Huntsville, 100%, let's purple out that orange monstrosity of grossness.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, goodness. All right, guys. As per usual, our ending, make sure that you are following us on all of our social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Follow us and subscribe on the YouTubes. Also, as a reminder, do not forget to go shopping on our new website and on our store on Bonfire. We have a lot of t-shirts and game day shirts on there. We're going to be posting a couple new designs. There's actually one design that our friend Tori, she's a professor at SFA. She's a doctor in the health science department. She was bored one day at work and she made a design. She emailed it to me. I know. So I'm gonna throw that on there too. So it's super cute. So I'm gonna throw that on there. We're gonna have a special one debuting in a few days as well. I have a bunch that I've just cranked out that I just trying to think of cool game day shirts. So please, 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 if you're looking for a new game day shirt and you're wanting something new, something different, check out our store online. Literally, we just ordered some like last week, not even, and they came today.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So they'll get to you pretty quickly. And I try to keep the price as good and normal-ish that you would probably see in the bookstores as possible. Nothing too crazy unless you want, obviously to get go crazy and get like multiple things. But yeah. So go get you a new shirt. We have shirts, we have long sleeves, we have hoodies, we have crop tops, we have youth sizes. There's sweatshirts. You name it, clothes-wise, and it's on there. So no underwear, though.
Yep.
Anyway. Also, don't forget to, what do? Buy beer from Fredonia. Whenever you're at the game, order yourself a Purple Lights beer. Go grab it from the Purple Lights Fund happy hour. 30 minutes prior to the game it starts, and then 10 minutes before the halftime. I was going to say halftime bell. Halftime buzzer, I guess. Sure. There's that Purple Lights happy hour. $3 beers. $3 beers. There's a lot of stuff coming up. Obviously, come and watch the games. Order a Fredonia beer, specifically Purple Lights. Whenever you do, partial money goes back to the SFA Athletics. A lot of events coming up as well. We got the Ambassador Assembly at the end of the month. So if you're an SFA alumni ambassador, make sure you come out for that. There's games on Saturday that we'll be at. Then we got the Heckler Hayes reunion coming up that we have our tickets for. $5 tickets, really cheap in the reserved Heckler Hayes. Be a student again for the day and get wild and crazy with us. Last year's reunion was nuts.
It was a lot of fun.
I blacked out. I'm going to admit it on live TV. I did. Hand up. I went a little too hard in the paint. A little too hard in the paint. But it was a fucking great time. Great time. So if you are interested in coming and hanging out with Jacqueline and I and all the rest of the crazies, get your tickets, $5 to the Heckler Hayes reunion. Totally worth it. They also have t-shirts available. You can find that all on Facebook on the Heckler Hayes reunion Facebook page. And of course, don't forget to buy your My Plates, an easy, fun way to support your SFA athletics. If you go to www.myplates.com and go /lumberjacks, you can get up to a $50 rebate. It takes only a few minutes to do all of that stuff. When you buy a 5-year personalized SFA plate from myplates.com, SFA Athletics takes in about $250 from every single purchase. It is a Stephen F. Awesome way to support your lumberjacks. Jacqueline and I love our My Plates. We get compliments about them all the time. We can't hide in the towns we live in because everybody knows whose car's whose. And everybody likes to, and everybody knows, but they do it on purpose. Like they know that my license plate says Meet Alex. They know it. But they like to piss me off and say, hey, there's Melix. Yeah. I can't hide in this town. Everyone knows whose plate is whose. And Jacqueline can't either because she's like one of 1,000 Partons. So everybody knows that's Jacqueline's car.
And I think that I'm the only one who has that type of car neck anyway. So I don't think anybody else in neck has, or I've never seen one.
I've seen your car, but just not your color.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nobody has my style and color or whatever it's called.
I've seen one other Kicks, and it was like ugly ass blue. Right. Ugly ass blue. Yeah. No one else has your car. And so, I mean, it's easy to spot my car. Literally, the Melix license plate, and then I have Fredonia stickers all over. I mean, so it's pretty obvious where whose car it is. I know. Anyway, so make sure that you guys get your My Plates. Help support Lumberjacks that way. Drink Fredonia beer, specifically Purple Lights. Come see us at the brewery at 138 North Mound Street, downtown Nacogdoches. And man, our Jacks are on a roll. I don't want to jinx it, but I don't know if I saw 5-0 coming. But I'm loving it. Let's keep going.
No, fingers crossed for tomorrow.
Yeah. We're playing Southern Utah. Their team has been pretty decent so far, I guess you could say, this season. They've been up at the top of the food chain with us, and so I forgot to check and see what their the Thunderbirds what they were in conference. I literally should have left it up there, but I didn't. They're up near the top. That's all I remember. That's all I got. So anyway, going to be another good game. 2:00, Cedar City, Utah, ESPN Plus.
Can't wait. All
right, guys. Hope you have a wonderful night. It is a crisp 37 degrees now in Nacogdoches, Texas. And I'm going to be sitting on my chase, reading a book. Oh,
this one decided to come up at the last minute. Hello.
Attention whore. I'm just kidding.
Pretty much.
Sweet kitty. Have a wonderful night, Jacqueline. Have a wonderful night, darling.
Thanks.
Oh, love you guys. Thanks for listening. As always, we love you. Thank you for your support. As always. Hey guys, if you're ever at a game and you see us sitting behind the bench, like come say hi. Come introduce yourselves if you've been a long-time listener or if you never, you pay attention to us on social media, but you never comment, or I don't know, like just come say hi because we're nice. We'll hang out. We'll chit chat.
We might have resting bitch face the entire game, but
I'm tired of people taking pictures of me specifically. I feel like I get the brunt of this constantly because I'm on my phone trying to tweet shit during the game, and then I'm also trying to watch the game, and then someone takes a picture of me and they're like, "Why are you pissed?" And I'm like, I'm not. That's just my face. Like
you're multitasking.
Anyway, whatever. Kemper, you have 2 more games, Kemper. 2 more games to remind the boys that regardless of what happens, they need to come and give us handshakes and high fives and hugs. 2 more games, Kemper. We love Kemper. Oh my God. I totally forgot. I got a text message tonight from, was it a text message? It was a text message. Where the hell is it? There it is. I got a text message tonight from Chris Cromwell. He's a Houston, I know you know who it is, but I'm telling everyone. Houston, North Houston alum. He texted me this, and this goes out. Kemper, you can ask your father. I don't know. I guess we can also message Keller and ask him. But he said, "Okay, friend, I need to ask you. Need you to ask Keller something. Why the heck is Underwood taking all these Texas University transfers? He has 2 Baylor kids, 2 Tech kids, and who knows how many else. He's still rooted in Texas, it seems. What the hell?" And I'm like, funny, but why would Keller know that?
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing.
It was just funny. I was like, I'll ask him, but I doubt Keller's going to know why Underwood keeps recruiting Texas players. Because he knows we're great? I don't know. I just have to say one more thing before we get off. I don't know if you saw it on Twitter because I know you're not on Twitter a lot, but someone got a screen recording, or not a screen recording, but they zoomed in on Underwood during one of his last home games, or just one of his last games. And we have seen him, but they zoomed in on him and they're like, can anybody read lips? And I kid you not, it was just like how we know he does. Underwood is wild.
I will say we didn't see him like that often.
No, but when he got like that,
yeah,
woo,
he got hot. It was
all bets off, baby. You better hide your kids, hide your wife, type of thing. Anyway, I just thought it was funny. Okay, guys, hope you have a wonderful night. Don't forget, again, game tomorrow at 2:00 p.m. ESPN Plus, 2:00 our time. We don't pay attention to Utah time, so 2:00 our time. And as always, axe some jacks.
With Alex and Jax.